So the Mercedes S-Class range has forever been their real pinnacle of luxury. It's the car that you might see the royals being driven in. It's the car that super successful men and women are at the helm of. It never really oozed sex appeal. It never really had that something about the design. It was so much more functional rather than just for looks. 4 or 5 years ago, Mercedes decided to take that luxury, slap a little bit more of a sporty look, take out a couple of doors, and bring to market the S Coupe. The car looks and feels fantastic. I've just jumped out. I purposely opened the windows here just so you can see this pillarless door frame. I just love how this flows. I think it's fantastic. A great entry point. When the windows are open, I just feel it looks sporty. It looks sporty and cool. Looks very pleasant. You can see here the automatic arm just saying, "Here, sir, have your seatbelt," because you can't reach behind you for it. Just a very nice looking car. This has got quite a lot of kit, this particular version. My personal opinion, I'd probably have this all blacked out or made it body coloured as opposed to the alloy. We've got the 20-inch wheels on it, which are plenty size-wise for this sort of car, plenty for anything. What would I go for? Again, I saw a version of this black with blacked out trim. It's the night pack with dark wheels, with all this front trim also dark, and I just thought it looked spectacular. I really did. This version we're in today is a lovely, luxurious coupe that you just want to drive. Who buys it? Phew. I'd have it. My mum would have it. My dad would have it. Everybody I know would have it. It goes above the predecessor or the previous thought process on S-classes being, you used to roll off the tongue, old man's cars. This has just changed the game for them altogether. It looks powerful, and it is powerful. The V8 under this bonnet, it's amazing. It's really an impressive put together car. The exhaust system, there's enough. It burps, it growls at you. When you put your foot down, it sounds earthy and raw like a V8, like a Mercedes V8 should, without it being the ridiculous AMG exhaust system. But there's plenty there. If you do like a nice sound, this sounds great. I just look at it and try and pick it apart. And for a GT car, a 2+2 GT car, they've done a really good job. Like in the back now, it is a 2+2. It's all very simple. That's a really nice process. This seating position is for me. It's my size. I'm 6 foot plus hair. And I've left the car door open. Ugh. There we go. Normally someone else will close it. When I'm in the back though, again, the seats are so nice. The seats are very nice. ISOFIX, parents out there, the ISOFIX is vital. How is the size? This is my seating position in the front. I'm 6 foot. I like to sit fairly far back, and again in the back seat, they've got very nicely designed seats with inlets for my legs. If it was all straight, I probably wouldn't fit very well. There's not a mass amount of room for my feet to go up and down, but I'm a 6 foot guy and I'm fairly large and I fit in here. I find it a touch odd that I don't have a window control in the back. So the two rear windows are controlled by the driver and only the driver, but I do have a seat heater back here which makes up for it. This car that we're in today, the S Coupe, from a driving position is as comfortable as the regular S-Class. It's beautiful. It always has the pointy end of the Mercedes tech in these large saloons. Except in this, you just feel like it's a bit more of a head turner. It's a bit sportier. It's not quite as heavy. It corners. The big one isn't made for cornering. The S-Class versus the S-Coupe. The S-Class is you're quite happy to be driven in, whereas the S-Coupe, you want to be the driver. And I'm learning all about that today. This MY18, we've had a couple of upgrades since then, and I'm really eager to test both. I'm actually going to be jumping in the S560 coupe, which they've just placed in above the S500 that we're in today. The new 560 has got the dual, almost mouse pads on the wheel that I'm really quite impressed with. It enables you to be able to scroll through the LED screen on each side. It allows you to control this plethora of screens. As I'm looking at it, I remember when I was younger, I used to go in my nan and granddad's camping caravet thing, and the four of us, my younger brother and nan and granddad, we used to huddle around this little TV that was probably only 4 or 5 inches wide. And then now I'm driving, and I've got an absolute enormity of LED screen space in front of me. It's a really pleasant environment. Is it comfortable? I keep thinking every time I drive around a corner and the Mercedes, beautiful Mercedes seats, give you a little hug. If you've never had a hug from a Mercedes seat, you've not lived. We need to get you into one. The S500 has got a 4.7 V8 in it. Enough power for anything you'll ever really need to do. It's 0 to 100 in about 4.7 seconds. It's not just the numbers behind it though, it's more how this is delivered. The first time I sat in this and I put my foot down, it just felt such a smooth process. It's not jerky. It's just you hear the throttle, you hear the exhaust in the back, and it sounds fantastic. Not as earth-shattering as the S63, of course, but the delivery of power is so refined. And we're just going up a hill now, we're going down a hill, we're going left, we're going right. It's just a consistent delivery of power. There's very little lag I've noticed in this. It's not a breakneck sort of car, but you don't buy an S500 for it to be breakneck. This is such a beautiful drive, and I could just picture this driving up and down the autobahns in Europe as a genuine GT cruiser, totally in control, totally happy and comfortable at speeds of 200 kilometers an hour plus, and you wouldn't even know it was moving. Really great road presence. The interior is, as in most S-classes, like its competitors, maybe the 8 Series BMW, maybe the Porsche Panamera, you're looking at beautifully appointed cockpits. I tell you what, I've got the seat heater on, and my center console is also warm. That's nice. That's a nice touch, Mercedes.